the audacity. Audacity. Somebody look that word up. Audacity. I read a book titled The Audacity of Hope. It was written by a great man named Barack Hussein Obama. The audacity. And audacity, within the context of the book, was how dare this young upstart fix it in his mind that he can be the president of the United States of America. How dare this young man from a broken home that was subjected to all of this transition, and his mom, let him tell it, was like a hippie. He had read the book. But audacity is just one of those things where it's like, how dare you? And that's how I was left to feel today. So I'm just gonna get into it. I ain't even waiting for nobody to get up into the room. Y'all really is just icing on the cake. If don't nobody show up, I gotta get this on my chest. So here I go, being a good Samaritan. Trying to be the good Samaritan and give people little data points because they're making plans. And I'm like, I feel like ain't nobody discussed with them that I'm not going to be here for these plans. Now, I'm in the United States military. And I understand that my time is not really my time. It's the officers appointed over me. That's what my time is. It's dictated by them. But in certain instances, my time is my time. What are those instances? One of the instances that I'm dealing with right now is military orders. Military orders, what are those? Military orders are written every time an officer, in my instance, I'm an officer, every time I have to move from one base or one station to another, it is called a permanent change of station. And those are only initiated or approved with military orders. So, let's relitigate what's already happened. In September of 2025, I was supposed to change from my current station in Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, to Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma. That was the plan. And the only thing that stopped me was an administrative error. That and the fact that just there was a medical aspect of my move that just was not completed. Thank y'all for that thumbs up. YouTube's crazy because it was 0 people, 1 person, and then all of a sudden it jumped to 32 people. So thank y'all. Sit down. I'm venting. I'm not venting. Ranting, maybe? Ranting. Yes. And anyway, I was supposed to move in September. Due to administrative delays, hello, Daniel Said, Daniel Saidi. That's an Arab name. Hello. Thank you for joining. That's pretty. Danielle. It's kind of like Daniel. But I'm distracted. Don't distract me. So I was supposed to move, but due to administrative discrepancies, my move was delayed from September of 2025, my lips are ashy, to January of 2026. During the interim, I had my assignment to Oklahoma canceled. It was canceled. Hello, Moma Hamel, and Gail Flores Velasquez. Hello, how y'all doing? How y'all? I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. But I was not allowed to move in January. So, recap. One move date was scheduled in September to one location. That move date was delayed to January. That move was ultimately canceled, and subsequently, I was reassigned to the Pentagon. So now, that's 3 different changes. So I've been kind of just being jerked along, and my family has been jerked along. And so I'm working in an office where it's 2 officers, 2 officers, 2 majors, which is really, that's overkill. That's like using a RPG for a rabbit. That's a gross misuse. Maybe not a misuse, gross misuse. Let me characterize it like this. It is not an effective utilization of resources, if you ask me. And so, thank you, Pastor Man 007. Jesus Christ died on the cross for you. But Jesus Christ didn't just die on the cross. He rose from the grave. Amen, somebody. And he got up with all power in his hands. And he sent back his spirit. Don't get me started. Y'all, I get distracted easy. Stop. I'm not going to read the comments because I just got to get it out. So type away. I'll address them after I get it out. And so during this time, I had a very strained relationship with my leadership. It was very strained. I was going through things. And really, when you're going through things on the job, people can tend to have an attitude of, I don't care about your problems. I need, and I have, and I want. And so with all of that, I said, oh, okay, all right. So this is a transactional relationship. Then I'm going to adjust my relationship. I'm going to also be transactional. Whether that's approved on or not, it is what it is. We're going to make this transactional. You're not here to be my friend, and I'm not here to be your friend. That's okay. I'm here to obey orders of the officers appointed over me. Copy all, will code. That's what you can expect. I'm going to be here when I'm expected to be there. And if something comes up, I'm going to communicate and give my best to work around the situation and to minimize situations. But I just didn't have a lot of trust put towards me, and I didn't have a lot of trust in leadership. And so the relationship was very strained, I think. I try to make the best out of it, but it is what it is. So I was initially supposed to move in January, and so they said, oh, okay, we're going to get everything we can out of this brother. We're going to put him over here in this different office. Typically, it's customary when an officer is about to move that you kind of let them like handle personal stuff. There's business stuff. So I got a home. You let the officer take care of stuff around the home. You're not really expecting to leverage them. I was told on many occasions I was not functioning rank appropriately. And so basically you have crisis situations where you need the dirt bag, and the dirt bag is operated in a transactional way. I'm not doing like vengeful or anything like that, but the fact is I am thinking of the needs of my family and my personal needs, and I am trying to transition to the next assignment. And so the guy that I currently work for, I know there's always, in leadership, there's always conversations that are happening that you're not privy to. And so I had my boss come and ask me, he said, hey, would you be interested in going to go over to this place? Yeah, sure, no problem. Now, I had previously discussed with my boss that I'd like to be taking leave, and I'd like to be doing, leave that I'm owed. I'd like to take leave so I can fix things around the home. And he knew that. They moved me, or they asked me to move. And when they ask you to do something, really, they not asking you. They falling telling you. And I knew what time it was. He asked, just to try to see if I'm going to be a team player. And I said, sure. And so I ended up moving there. And I told them before, the new boss, I told him, hey, look, this is what I'm hoping to do. And yeah, sure. That is not what they were looking to do. They were not looking to accommodate me. And so their expectation was, I'm just going to be a body that's there to do whatever it is that's required for this position. So what they didn't necessarily account for was there was going to be a government shutdown and a furlough. And so that civilian that was there, that civilian also decided that, hey, man, I'm going to retire. Here's the situation in that shop. You had 4 civilians that were in that shop. One of the guys, he got a job in another office. He still works under the organization, but he got another job. Then another guy, he retired. He was the boss. He retired. Then there was another guy that got a job in his actual thing that he went to college for, and so he left. And then there was one guy left. And this guy's amazing. He does the job in his sleep, and he does it well. But he's leaving in June. What they didn't account on was the government shutdown. So the government shut down, and that means all civilians were temporarily furloughed. So all of the requirements of the shop fell on the major and I. Now what they did, I noticed something. They said, he's the boss, the civilian. He was the boss, right? Okay, cool. I'm going to listen to him. I noticed just at first, the civilian would talk to me, and he would also talk to the other guy. And then I noticed gradually that he started just talking to the other guy. And it was like, almost like he was reporting to him. And so there was a shift in dynamics. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to mind my business because, again, I'm preparing to leave, so I don't really care. And then when it finally became evident that we were going to have a shutdown, we had a meeting. And in this meeting, they finally broached it to me. Oh, he's going to be the boss. The other, now, granted, both of us were the same rank. And so he's going to be the boss. There's no discussion and there's no rationale, no thought processes put forward. If they had a thought process, it didn't make sense. So what they did was they made him the boss, even though after that class, the shop that I work in, it's basically broken into 5-week chunks where the individual that was made the supervisor, if you will, of the shop, he is only going to be there for 5 weeks. Me, I was actually, I was going to be there longer than 5 weeks. And so from a logic standpoint, it wouldn't make sense to make someone that is going to not be there long in charge. Does that make sense? It doesn't make good sense. Somebody's going to leave in 5 weeks. Let's make them the boss. And then the person that's going to stay there longer, he's going to be there longer. I guess they act like they didn't know how long I was going to be there. Now, I told my boss before. I've been communicating with my boss the entire step of the way. But apparently, communication between my old boss and my new boss was lacking. And so they were making all of these plans. So, okay, so, all right, so, Guy, you're going to leave. And you, Action, that's my go-by. They call me Action. Say, Action, you're going to be there. And so you guys can help train up the new captain that we're going to send there. And so I told him today in the message, I said, hey, y'all making a lot of plans. But y'all know I'm leaving March the 1st, right? I'm out of here. Now, the next class starts like right around that time. Or maybe it's midway. And honestly, I don't even care when it starts because I'm checked out. I'm leaving, right? Like, I got this whole house to attend to. I got a hole in my shed that I just needed time to fix it. I got a fence. I got everything that needs to happen. And they're just like, basically, You can't take leave. We want you to work right up to the end. And oh, by the way, you are not being recognized for any of your contributions to the unit. Because this is not just a contribution to the squadron where I was assigned. It's a contribution to the entire wing. And so it is something that should be recognized and kudos should be given. I don't expect it. It's just the way things work. You don't expect anything. When you do stuff, me being in the church, my mentality is, hey, I'm not even doing this like I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it like this is for the Lord. This is my service to the Lord. My job, I do it like I'm serving, I'm doing work for the Lord. And so that's my mindset. So even though they treated me bad, I was like, well, keep in mind, you doing this for the Lord. You're not doing this necessarily for them. Um, and so, forgive them for they know not what they do. That's how we operated. And anyway, I get a text message from my boss. And my boss, after I updated my current supervisor, like, hey guys, I'm going to be leaving on March 1st. Now, and they're like, copy all, understood. And so normally you would, if you've built the relationship up with a person, you would just ask them like, hey man, is there any way that you can like extend? Is there any flexibility that you have in this move date? They didn't do that. They went and again, this is a sign of people that couldn't lead their way they couldn't lead their way. They couldn't lead. They're not leaders. They're not. But you build that relationship and you build that trust and there's some buy-in from the member. And so even though I'm ready to go, because we have built a relationship, which we didn't actually build, but because we were sure to build a relationship, this is what good leaders would do. People are willing to flex. But me at this point, I don't have that flexibility because instead of them coming to me and asking me, could I help out? Hey man, like we are seriously in the bind and we understand that you're trying to get on to your next assignment, but man, like it would be huge if you could just, maybe slide things a little bit to the right, maybe 2-3 weeks and that'd be huge. But we don't have that relationship. We don't have that goodwill. So he went, I got something for you. I got something for you because I have orders. And military orders, it didn't originate with you. It originated higher than you. And so you can't cancel those orders. You have to go through like an extraordinary, some steps, and you have to explain like, oh, the reason why we want to delay this member in moving is because we need them to man this shop. And so they don't want to look bad because no one likes to put that on paper. And so my boss sends me a text. He's like, hey, can you stop by and talk? Can we talk about the flexibility on this move date? I didn't even respond. I opened up the message and I left it on red because that's where I'm at. Well, I'm not going to be, it is what it is because on January 22nd, I sent a draft as they directed of a declaration, ops officer as well. So the number 1 and number 2 to say their thing was, hey man, because we had to go through, we told you whatever we had to go through, you're entitled to whatever opinion, will give you a declaration. All right, well you changed your mind, and they promptly said nothing about it. So and then we're acting like we didn't waste my time. And so now you're asking me to waste more of my time. Excuse me if I don't feel inclined to waste my time. Again, we don't have the relationship. You don't have to pretend. There really is nothing to they like the audacity. We started out talking about the audacity. Like there's zero motivation. And it's just like, guys, it's Black History Month. I was watching somebody talking. I can't remember who it was. I wish I could. But he said, it's Cameron. Cameron has a show. Y'all know Cameron the rapper. He has a show. And on that show, he said, it's two places we ain't going in 2026. Above and beyond and out the way. And like that's not consistent with who I am as a person. I can that I'm not gonna go above and beyond, but there's something internally in me that just drive me like in spite of myself. It's like I'm going to keep my eye on the ball because even though relationally, like it might not have been there, that relationship doesn't exist. There's something like there's the people that you work for, like that supervise you, and then there's the people that you work for. And the people that I work for, the person, it's the captains that are coming to this organization